Multicellularity entails that many cells must act together to maintain one functional organism. To do this, cells need to communicate with each other to carry out various functions. This communication between cells is commonly referred to as cell signaling, which utilizes signaling molecules that we call as extracellular messengers and receptors. Extracellular messengers are how these cells send messages to each other, and they receive those messages via their receptors. Today, we'll focus only on knowing what these molecules are, starting from the many molecules acting as extracellular messengers, which are commonly categorized into four. First are the amino acids and their derivatives, such as glutamate, acetylcholine, dopamine, and more. They act as neurotransmitters and hormones. Also, gas molecules like nitric oxide and carbon monoxide also act as messengers. Because of their size, they can often pass through the membrane and bind directly to enzymes. Lipids, such as eicosanoids and steroids, also count. Both of them are involved in essential processes within the body. Steroids carry signals important in development and maintenance, while eicosanoids carry signals of regulation of different processes. Polypeptides and proteins are the last kind and perhaps the most diverse. They can either be membrane-bound or secreted. They are often used in relaying messages of body development and survival or in immunomodulation. On the other hand, receptors that receive the signals brought by the extracellular messengers can be generalized, such as the following. G-protein coupled receptors or GPCRs. They are distinguishable by their 7 transmembrane alpha helices. They utilize GTP binding proteins or G proteins in mediating the signal they receive from outside to inward the cell, hence their name. Next, there are the receptor protein tyrosine kinases or RTKs. Their distinction is the receptor dimerization that occurs whenever an extracellular messenger is bound. This dimerization activates their protein or tyrosine kinase domain that initiates tyrosine phosphorylation of other signal transduction proteins inside the cell. Third widely known kind are the ligand-gated channels. These receptors are known for their unique role of managing the inflow and outflow of ions in the cell with the help of ligands. Change in ion concentrations are crucial for triggering different events within the cell that often have effects beyond cellular level. Finally, there are steroid hormone receptors which are not found at the membrane but in the cytoplasm. Upon binding of their extracellular messenger, they bind to the promoter region of their target gene, acting as transcription elements that can either promote or repress gene expression. The interactions of extracellular messengers and receptors require more time, focus, and a closer perspective for it to be clearly understood. Hence, we will let it be the next topic for discussion. Thank you for listening.